The Audi RS6. Since the production of the RS4 ended, young people were curious as to what the Quattro manufacturers would bring out next. But the RS6 is not a sequel, and definitely not an improvement on the RS4 in terms of sportiness. The biggest flaw, you can select the gears manually on the steering wheel, but the gearbox changes back a gear at full throttle. That prevents clean acceleration out of the corners and costs time. But can an RS6 still be further tuned? Swiss tuners Sportec make improvements on request. Visually, the RS500 with a 20mm lowering looks a little bit more brawny than the standard version. The delicate 20-inch wheels house mighty 400mm brake discs on the front axle. At the back, 4 pipes let the twin-turbo V8 exhale. This is hidden under a great deal of plastic and is forcibly ventilated with a maximum of 1.5 bar. It generates an even 500 horsepower. You instantly notice the altered automatic gearbox. The gear changes are significantly faster, but the vigorous jolt as a result will be less beneficial to the lifespan of the gearbox. Nevertheless, further changes would have been desirable in the gearbox. In manual mode, it should change up or down, regardless of what the rev sensor or e-gas say. This way, the capacity could be used in a much more selective way. The manifold pressure, which has been increased by 0.35 bar, allows the performance characteristics to turn out more sharp. The acceleration feeling is therefore more spectacular, because at lower revs there is less, but at higher revs there is more power. The special suspension is significantly harder thanks to sport springs. Small jolts are also relayed very hard due to the flat tires. The high camber on the front axle allows the RS500 to be steered more easily. At the dynamic limits, the tail is somewhat more agile than the series model. Despite this, the agile estate displays neutral handling even in fast corners. The larger brakes don't provide any improvement in deceleration. Like the series brakes, they're endlessly firm. No softening pressure point, no dropping pedal, no fading. On the short course in Hockenheim, the Sportec is exactly 0.7 of a second faster than its series version, with a lap time of 1:17.3. It's obvious where the time difference comes from. 50 horsepower more, faster gear changes, higher camber on the front axle, and the lowered center of gravity. Prices available from Sportec on inquiry.